Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute since my last Q&A video. Sorry about that. Life has been busy, good busy, not bad busy, but busy nonetheless. But I did want to make sure I continued and kept my word about posting my videos. So today's question is, what advice do you have for someone who is debating writing their first book? And my answer is simply, my advice would be, do not debate writing that book. I would say go for it and do it. If something is pressing on your heart to get something out of you, then there's definitely a reason for it. There is someone who needs it. There's someone who is waiting for what you have. And I'd say the best way to maybe start the process is definitely by journaling. I know I talk about it a bit in my book, but I've got some of my journals here with me. I started off, of course, with one journal, and that was this one. So this was my first journal, and I don't even remember the order, y'all, of when I got which one, but I'm now up to, well, I've got 6 here. I actually have more than that, but yeah, so I'm just gonna show y'all real quick. So I've got these. This is my one of my favorites. The front of it says, "Blessed is she who believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her." That's from Luke 1:45. So it's pretty obvious what's in this book. These are promises that God has made me, promises that he's actually started fulfilling as of this moment. But I keep record of those in here. And got one here. These are all of my song lyrics. This one is very precious to me. This one was a gift from my brother and my sister-in-law. And of course this one here, I know the plans I have for you. It's one of my favorite scriptures. And then this one was a gift from someone else as well. And it actually has a quote by Henry David Thoreau. It says, "Things do not change, we change." But yeah, so that's just a few of my journals. I keep different journals for different things. So nothing that I write in one journal is gonna have the same kind of content that another journal has. And I do that for very specific reasons. And of course, you know, I keep like song lyrics. I keep that journal by my bed every night because that's usually when songs come to me for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, I'd say starting with journaling is definitely the best way. I mean, if I was having what I was brought up to call growing and learning days or bad days, I'd journal about those. You know, if I was sad, I'd journal about that. If I was having a great day, you know, journal about those days. If I was feeling absolutely nothing, I mean, just numb and didn't know what I was feeling, like I'd journal about those things. I journaled about every situation, you know. But I made a point, and I still make a point to write something every single day, because what I learned is you never know like how your story is coming together. You never know what God wants to do with what you're writing down. And here's the other thing I'll say, and I learned this lesson in writing Leave and Live, is that you never destroy the bad things. Like I, in some of my really negative situations and relationships and circumstances, like I wrote about some of those things, and I wrote about the heartache, I wrote about the anger, and then later on down the line, you know, when life was good and things were going great, you know, like I went back in my journal and I just read over the past and where I had come from, and I hated some of the things that I read. I hated, reliving some of that stuff. And so I ripped those pages out and I threw them away. Don't ever do that. Like, I wish to this day I had not done that, because I had dates for everything, and when it comes to dates and just when certain breakthroughs would happen, and when certain things would occur, like, I was so specific about those times, and so not having record of those moments when I needed them, especially in writing this book, like, it was detrimental. Like, I really hated not being able to pinpoint, oh man, like, God, that's when that happened, and this is when you showed me blah blah blah. And I didn't have those things because I ripped them out. Like, I wanted to forget them so bad that I ripped those pages away. And so my advice would be, don't rip away the bad. Like, it all serves a purpose, and we don't see it at the time. And when we come out of it and looking back on it, we don't always want to remember it. But in hindsight, I realize that if I would have held on to it a little longer, it would have served an even greater purpose. So that's that bit of advice. The other advice I would have is to get a great book consultant. I had that in a friend of mine. His name is Marcel Anderson. Marcel, kudos to you. Marcel helped me a lot in the beginning stages of writing this book. I was scattered. Like, I didn't know where to start. There were so many ideas in my head, and I had no idea how to get them down on paper. I am not a time management person, and which is surprising, because like, what I do for a living, like, I have to manage my time well. But when it comes to my career, I'm just like, man, time is of the essence, but when it comes to my personal time, I'm just like, oh, I'm laid back, it'll get done when it gets done, like, and that's kind of how I was with my book, and so I was sitting on this thing, like you would read in the book, like, I was sitting on this thing for years. Not just because I was lax about it, but also because I'm just like, dang, do I really want to talk about this stuff? Do I really want to put this out? How are people going to feel? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I had all these ideas and thoughts going through my head, and having someone to really help guide and direct you and say, hey, like, no, we can't think about how everybody else is going to feel. We got to think about, what is God telling you to do? Why is he telling you to do it? And then you got to manage your time, because like, time is your life, and you can't get it back. It's literally the currency of life, and how you spend it says a lot for what you value. And so it's like, seeing those things in a different perspective really helped me realize, yeah, like, I need to do this. I need to do it now. I need to stay focused. And I remember one thing that Marcel said to me was, listen, if you don't get this done and finished and published in the next 3 months, it's because you don't want to. And when he said it, it was just kind of like a wake-up call. Like, you know what? God put me in a perfect position when he brought me to Houston. And, he gave me literally the job of my dreams. And when I tell you guys that, I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, I love what I get to do for a living. And I know there's a lot of people that can't say that, and I'm grateful that I get to say that. But on top of loving what I get to do, he's also allowed me to have a healthy life and work balance, and so I don't work crazy hours. I get to do what I love, and then I have all of this time to do what matters to me, and I truthfully wasted so much of that time, when I could have been investing it. And so I think having someone in your corner who can help you see, you know, just how to navigate and how to guide that time so much better is a huge, huge help. So I think that's about it for this Q&A. But yeah, and then find a great publisher like Zulan Publishing. I have read some horrible reviews about them. Sorry, I have though, and I will say this. I will say that I think my team at Zulan was above and beyond anything I could have ever prayed for and hoped for and imagined. And I can't say enough great things about them. And I think just putting prayer over your project, putting prayer over everything that you do, and even before you start, I mean, just, you know, praying over your words, praying over what you share, what you say, how you say it. Everybody is not gonna like what you do. Everyone's not gonna like what you say. Everyone's not gonna be in your corner, you know. And I think the sooner you understand that, the sooner you become okay with that, then you'll be good, you know. I mean, if God is pleased, no one else needs to be. And I think ultimately that's what's kept me, you know, is knowing what I did was out of obedience. And so if writing your book, fiction, nonfiction, biography, whatever it's going to be, you know, if writing that book, if telling that story is going to bring you peace, bring others healing, bring others happiness, you know, if it's going to be walking in your gift, then by all means, go for it. You know, do what you do. And until the next video, I love you guys. Thanks again for the support, the love, just all the comments and the outpouring. Man, you guys are amazing. And I will see you in a few days.